Game, set, match. They delivered the games. They set the details. Did they seal the match? Today, Sony dropped their final gauntlet, announcing their launch lineup, their price, their release date, and quite possibly establishing what is the absolute best way to enter next gen, the best console to buy. And today we're talking all about it. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from XPForce. Make sure to smash that like button if you are excited for PS5. You know how much the games matter to me. And today's presentation was all about the games. Some big surprises, some known leaks, and some Sony exclusives that will steal the show this year, next year, and probably for the entire generation. I mean, God of War is coming back. I called it. But Kratos returns with Ragnarok in 2021. Let me know which game you're most excited for in the comments down below. And make sure to subscribe to XPForce if you're excited for next gen. Now, we have all the details. We finally know the players, the prices, the pre-orders, and the release dates. The PlayStation 5 hits on November 12th and November 19th in certain territories for $500. And the digital edition is $400. They'll be launching with Demon's Souls, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Sackboy, and Destruction All-Stars, with quite a few first-party titles ready to go on day one. Of course, third-party will be there as well, and this showcase highlighted Sony's incredibly strong relationships. I was oozing with enthusiasm after they unveiled Final Fantasy XVI. It's a console exclusive. The new Hogwarts game that we've heard about for years, and of course, another trailer of the oh-so-spooky Resident Evil Village, aka Resident Evil 8, and our first taste of Ragnarok. I had a feeling that they would seal the deal with God of War, and even though we didn't see the face of Kratos, knowing we're getting the next entries in the Aloy and Kratos franchises in 2021 is incredible and helps establish the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition as the best way to enter next gen. It's the best console to buy this year. I'm calling it. This system is $399, $100 cheaper than the rest, and still provides top-tier next-gen power. Yes, the Xbox Series S is $100 less at $299, but that is a gimped way to enter the greatest era of gaming yet. For $400, you get the actual PS5, the one with all the power. You just don't get a disc drive. But nowadays, digital games, for me, are the way to go, and unless you're obsessed with shelf presence, why not cut $100 off your holiday bill and start building your collection on your PS5 Digital? Sony, furthermore, took a shot directly at Microsoft by encroaching upon their Game Pass plan with their PlayStation Plus collection. This is a set of games, some of the greatest games of this current generation, available day one for you to download. Now, it's nowhere near as expansive as Game Pass, and it probably won't include new games going forward, but it's a fantastic way to beef out the library on day one and provide you with so many stellar Sony titles. You're going to get God of War before you even have a chance to buy Ragnarok. You're going to get Bloodborne to see if you're into the Demon's Souls style. You're going to get Horizon 1, Final Fantasy 15, all of these games that give you a chance to see what their series are about and to dip back into the ones you loved. It is nowhere near as impressive in scope and scale as Game Pass, but it's included with your PlayStation Plus subscription, and it's clear now that Sony is going this route, doubling down on what defines Sony: their great games, their first-party studios. You will be able to play all the hits from PS4 right off the bat alongside your PlayStation Plus subscription. And I think that is a super smart move and a really stealthy way for Sony to say, yes, our box does the past, our box gives you value, and our box does the future. Spider-Man Miles Morales looked amazing. The neon lights taking me back to my days of infamous Second Son, where I was blown away by what the PlayStation 4 was capable of. And even though this was a stream, you can tell that the PS5 is ready for action, looking absolutely incredible. And they hit us hard with game after game. They threw the gauntlet. They said, we've got the best new titles to play. And of course, they're going to have Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion and Madden and NBA. They'll have all that too. But what they have that sets them apart from Xbox, specifically this holiday season, is a slew of games only available on the Sony side. That's another reason that PS5 Digital Edition is the place to play. You've got a launch lineup with some pretty cool titles that span a wide variety of genres. Sackboy platforming, Miles Morales, an action-adventure with a story, Demon's Souls, a very difficult RPG, Destruction All-Stars, multiplayer, and maybe we'll get a few others. I thought Deathloop looked really, really ridiculously cool, and I'm bummed that got delayed till Q2 2021, but at least we know it's another exclusive on the way. And so is Final Fantasy 16. I'm not the biggest fan of the medieval setting, but it is pretty hyped to see the next entry in that fabled franchise, and it's coming next year as well. Of course, Resident Evil Village is going to be available everywhere, but I like that Sony is courting so many third parties, showing off exclusive COD gameplay for the first time. That'll be another fun one to play on next gen. And if you want to play it in 4K, but you don't want to fork over $500, it's the PlayStation 5 Digital. I don't know how they did this. I think it is a severe slap at Microsoft's Series X price point to say you can get the same PS5 experience. You're just losing the disc, which for me, the last 5 years, it's been annoying to have discs. I love downloads. The SSD is mighty speedy. It may not hold as much storage as you'd like, and upgrading that might be expensive, but it's got enough right now. I think it's about 825 gigabytes, which should hold at least a few of the games. And in theory, the library might be slow to expand because you are spending so much money on the console, and the games have gone up in price as well. It's a bummer to see them increase, but it was almost inevitable. Titles are now going to be $70 on next gen, and I expect there to be a few outliers, but for the most part, it's going to be $70. So that $100 saving means even more. The same box, drop the disk drive, save $100. Invest it in Demon's Souls, invest it in a second DualSense, which are also $70, and invest it almost immediately because pre-orders are supposed to go live any minute now. They said they'd come on Thursday, but you never know if something sneaks out a little bit early. I am beyond pumped because Sony set the stage, and even though I thought the conference lulled a little bit in the middle, they finished so ferociously by letting us know that they've got a lot, and they date it. They dated Horizon as 2021. They dated God of War as 2021. And yes, those games could get delayed, but you can see the path. You can see the future for PlayStation. You know where they're headed. And now they've taken a little bit of Microsoft's pie with their PlayStation Plus collection. They've established a price point and a release date that is competitive as all heck. Those Demon's Souls graphics look downright sick. And they definitely delivered some surprises with Harry Potter and Final Fantasy 16. But I will say I was hoping for maybe one more thing, or at least a look at Horizon Forbidden West gameplay, or maybe just a quick shot of Kratos' mean mug. We did get God of War Ragnarok, so I am in awe of that announcement, especially that it's dated. But I did feel like maybe they were one game short from making this a true knockout punch. It wasn't perfect, but it did exactly what PlayStation needed to do. Establish the games that guaranteed this is the place to play. 2 days after the Xbox Series X and Series S launches, PlayStation 5 will hit store shelves. So now it's a very difficult decision. Getting both is going to be dangerous. That is a lot of cash to fork over. And Xbox is all in on their all-access plans where you can pay via payments, and I love that. I hope Sony does something similar, or at least retailers will incorporate the PlayStation 5 as part of a very similar program. I'd love to be able to pay $25 a month and not have to worry about forking over the initial $400, because then that money can go to games. I look at the launch lineup and I say, I want to play Demon's Souls, I want to play Spider-Man, I want to play Sackboy. And if the early reviews are good, Destruction All-Stars could be a really cool Rocket League combat hybrid. I think the game has promise. Deathloop is coming. Final Fantasy is coming. Horizon, God of War, and more are coming. Even the Harry Potter game looks pretty cool, but in terms of exclusives, Sony has set the standard and said we will double down on what delivered the PlayStation 5 a huge lead this generation. The best place to play the best console games. Now, some of Sony's titles are going to be headed to PC, and that might shift things around for some of you. If you don't want to invest in a next-gen console, or rather you'd spend your money on a 3080, you can do that and know that you'll probably be able to eventually play many of these. But for me, as a lifelong console gamer, as someone who is about the games more than anything, as someone who, when the next generation happens, I want to know what bold visions I can experience, what great new elements of game design I get to devour. And so far, Sony is in the lead by quite a substantial amount. Now, come next year, once Halo Infinite launches and Xbox sort of establishes more of their long-term plan, things may even out. But right now, it's that PlayStation 5 Digital Edition that delivers all the third-party games, top-tier power, Sony exclusives with what I feel is the sexier box, and of course, the stronger controller. Because remember, the DualSense is doing things differently. It's trying to put you in the shoes of the characters you play. It's trying to give you better feedback and more variety as you move through these worlds. And I'm excited to see how that changes things up. Well, Xbox is very, very digging their heels into staying the same and establishing a family of consoles. They do have supreme power on the Series X, but the controller, the interface, the lineup is staying very much the same. And it feels like Sony is leaning a bit more into the next gen. Yes, they're bringing back PS4 games as part of the PlayStation Plus collection, a nice perk for subscribers, but they're also saying, here's the future. And the future can be yours for $400, not $500. All of them are a lot of money. Not as much money as the PlayStation 3, thank goodness gracious, but I am shocked that Sony was as bold as to say $400. We drop the disc drive, you save $100, and you get next gen as it's meant to be. 4K, ray tracing, 120 FPS, Spider-Man, Demon's Souls, Sackboy, Horizon, God of War, Final Fantasy, and more. This is it, my friends. Next gen is now ready. Just a couple months and we'll be playing both of these boxes. I cannot wait to see what the games deliver, the unboxings deliver, the controllers, the UI, the experience of no load times, an instant resume. How will this change how we play? It's going to happen very soon, and I cannot wait to share it all with you. Let me know your take. Are you super excited and intrigued about a PS5 at $400? No spec difference. None. It's the same box. Top tier gaming. You lose nothing. It's got to be the best value, right? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you're pumped for PS5 and Xbox Series X. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all this awesome stuff and be a part of the most fun next-gen community out there. PS5, Series X, I got you covered on both fronts. I'm going to do my best to make sure you feel the new generation in your ears, on your eyeballs, and in your subscription box. So thanks so much for allowing me to share this enthusiasm with you. I'm so excited. I love you guys a lot. And until next time, XPForce out.